Have one more topic. College football, right? We've seen Deion Sanders and Syracuse head coach have discussions about a possible preseason for college football. What are your thoughts on a on college football teams engaging in preseason games? And even have you seen some of where some teams aren't even playing spring games anymore now for portal purposes and tampering reasons? But what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't think that would necessarily stop tampering. I mean, you can't stop a coach from DMing. I mean, you can't stop the internet, regardless. I mean, if we see, you know what I'm saying, we see the potential. We see the potential. We're gonna holler at you, regardless, no matter you play in the spring game or not. Um, but as far as the preseason games, I think that's honestly a dope idea to an extent. I think there's have to be some certain set of rules. Just not make it. I'm trying to debate. Should we make it like 2 quarters or 15 minutes or something like that, or should we make it 4 quarters with maybe like 6.5 minutes or something like that? You know, maybe they start at the opponent's 50. You know, just to prevent. Because the thing is, injuries. Injuries happen. This is a very physical sport. This is a very injuries can happen. Do you want contact? Do you want non-contact? Do you want just pads on shorts? How would you want to
For
do it?
me, for me personally, bro, I kind of rather have a week of joint practices. That's kind of where I'd rather have that. I'd rather have more of a controlled space of going against another team. I don't think I like the idea of a game because unlike the NFL, these aren't mandated games. I don't know if I put my team through another game that everybody else isn't having to play. Now, a week of practice is a week of practice, but now I understand that college football and how their summer camp, like how their preseason camp goes, it's very tight. It's not really, it's not nearly as much time I think people believe it is. It only feel like that as a fan from a fan's perspective. But as a coach, I don't believe it's a lot of time to truly have a team come in for a week and take away a week of us prepping for our week one opponent. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like in the preseason in the NFL, y- you're playing like you're playing these different games to try to continue to try to gradually get to that point. And I think because college football doesn't have a structure in which that's been done before, when do you pop when do you bring a team in there to truly um to truly compete against your group? I say about around the third week. I want to say like around like 2 weeks out from your first game. I think having another team come in, practice for a week, run your one-on-ones, run your teams, and have them compete against somebody else. Maybe not, and I still don't even believe you should be going full contact in those scenarios.
So during summer
And then
practice. So during summer
summer,
practice.
yeah. So during summer practice, and I know like it should happen. It should definitely happen. It's just kind of tough to try to get people on board with it. That it, if everybody else isn't going to be on board with it, because you know how the college game goes. They ain't doing nothing that the other guy ain't got to do. If he ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. That's just how it's gonna be, it is what it is. So I think the biggest issue I think you're always gonna have is I don't know if you could ever get an entire conference to buy into this, and and who's gonna be willing to step out there. Dion being the first guy to step out there to the plate makes perfect sense. He's the guy that's willing to push the boundaries of what should be happening with the sport. He seems very futuristic in his mindset with how
Our
with
very
how he's doing. But
our very own Beamer's trying to as well.
yeah, Beam wants to put his hat out in the ring as well. And again, kudos to those guys. I think this being Beam stepping up to the plate makes sense because I think how Beam has had to even build his team has been so unorthodox, and how he's gotten to this stage has been different, that it makes total sense. And he's a younger face in the conference, and it makes sense that he wants to try something different to try to help sharpen his team. But it's like, who do you do this against? Like, I don't think it's hard to find the opponents. I think for the SEC, going to the ACC for a team you don't have to play typically will probably be your best bet. Like if I'm being truthfully honest, like us, like say us in Louisville, for example, we've never played Louisville.
Yeah.
Like that's a quality team over there in that conference that could give you. quality game reps and can really
Hmm.
and you can really test yourself, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you play Virginia Tech. You know what I'm saying? That could really test you really, real quick, so you can see where you're at going into the season. I think same vice versa as well. Um, but it's all about finding the willing participants in this though. Syracuse and Colorado doing it. Yeah, I like the idea. If they do, I want them to do it. I want them to do it because college football is unsanctioned. Nobody can. There is no commissioner. Nobody's telling y'all what to do. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. You want to do with y'all teams. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the NIL era, there are very few restrictions on what teams can truly do. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I say go for it. I think finding the right medium is always going to be the problem.
And obviously, they want to find the all these coaches, they really want their guys to be competitive and compete, the best as possible and see what the best they got in their players and really can help evaluate to see who is the best player and let's put them on the field and how they do in games. And it'll definitely like a scenario like this year, like look at all the young receiving talent, from in-state talent, some out of state freshmen that we got coming in down here in South Carolina. That would be perfect. That we can finally look to see what we got in Donovan Murphy, what we got in Malik Clark, what we got in Lex Cyrus, the younger folks, what we got in a second year Mazio Bennett. Is Nick Harbor ready to take that leap as wide receiver one when we need him in game time scenario, game time situation. So yeah, I think joint practice that makes a lot more sense versus than just like a regular preseason game. Because hell, even in the NFL with the preseason game, they don't have to start. The starters don't play the first two games anyway. Maybe the third one. That's more so that's actually the scrimmage, the scheduled game they like to call it or whatever. So yeah. I think joint practice makes a whole lot of sense. Back in my mind, I was thinking like maybe we should bring in like a Sun Belt team, like hey, call up Coastal, let's see what they up to. Keep it in state, but it's just we want actual like someone to compete, or like some opposite players that can test our players to see what's up, what we got.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Because I even thought about going to FCS. I thought about like bringing in like Furman or Wofford or somebody like that. But I was like, you know what? You want to really actually test the middle of your guys to see if they're actually up to that standard or not. So yeah, like you said, I think Coastal could work, but I think because you're gonna play Coastal in the season, like I think the guy, ain't Coastal on the schedule this year?
yes, they are. And the week before Clemson,
Yeah. So you said, ugh, ugh. But
yeah.
that game maybe 10 years ago would have made sense. 10 years ago, that would have made sense. No, if I like
I,
Coastal before Clemson now, like these days, I don't know if I like Coastal. I don't know if I like that. Like, because brother, like, and this is totally off topic, but doomsday scenario. What if you go 0-2? Like, like, what if you smoke both of those games and go 0-2 in state?
that's embarrassing. That's
Oh,
that is
oh Lord,
embarrassing, man.
Lord,
That
Lord,
crown
Lord,
bottle,
Lord.
that crown bottle gonna be calling my name, man. I'm gonna be
Mm, mm.
so sick, y'all, so sick.
But so
But
sick of love songs, so tired and tears. Boy,
this is yeah,
I'm be Neo. God damn, I'm be Neo. But
yeah.
no, besides that, the but like you said, like the young guys, getting those young guys involved and getting those young guys in, because I would really pay to see like Cutter Woods, Dante Reno, Aaron Nolan get game reps before, get real live game reps before the season. That would be worth, like, that would be worth the risk of injury. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah,
injury's gonna happen anyway. Like, that's the main thing. Injury guys are gonna get hurt regardless. We lost our guys a couple years ago. We lost our
it's a
starting
spring
offensive
game,
lineman in a
spring
spring game.
game.
It's going to happen regardless. You kind of just gotta accept that's the nature of the sport. But getting a chance to get valuable reps for those guys is huge, and that's another reason why I didn't quite understand why coaches are doing away with the spring games because of tampering. Like, God, like, bro, like, the coaches that want your players are already in their phone right now. Trust and believe. They were already there. They're already on their line. I get it. Try to control as many opportunities as they get a chance to see your team play on TV as possible. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I mean, it's not stopping anything. And I know Beam said this too. This is an opportunity for the newer guys, like the freshmen and the guys that are transferring in from smaller schools to get a chance to witness the atmosphere that they're gonna be playing in, and it not be your first game before you actually get to see what Willie B is like, and you know, in full. And even then, like there's gonna be about 30,000, maybe 40,000 people there. That ain't even close to capacity. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not. No.
It's not. So it'll be a lot for them, and they'll see it for the first time, and be like, "Wow." But understand, it gets bigger. It gets more grand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's very theatrical how Willie B looks under the lights. You can't really manufacture it any other way other than being there for an
Correct.
actual game. So I mean, but I think it's a good opportunity for those guys to see what it's like, to get a small taste of what it's going to be like here in that stadium. So
I think the chemistry and I think the not, well, hold on, I'll speak on chemistry in a minute. But I think the turnout is going to be very big this year because I mean it's not broadcast or nothing like that. It's like we broadcast on ESPN, but
so you got to be there.
you got to pull up. Beam wants you to pull up, so hey, pull up there, go enjoy the show, enjoy
Hey,
brother
and
Norris.
see your guys, bro. You know what I'm saying?
We be
We
there. We
may
gonna be
we
there.
may or may
Yeah,
not be in the building. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I think how things gonna work out. We gonna be there. So if you're there, pull up, see your boys, man. Shit,
yeah. We'll be out there
come kick it
posted.
with us. You feel me?
Yeah. What's the spring game? The 18th, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be on a Friday.
Friday 18th. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the week I moved back. Okay, but and then just last about the but last thing I want to say is though is I think it's just a chemistry thing because when I was there at the Old Dominion game last year, that heartbreaking that almost heartbreaking game. Uh,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
chemistry on the offense was just off. Like it's like you could tell they practice hard, but like once the game settled in, you know, it just went left. Like, you know, it just had to be like, hey, Norris, just run. Just run at this point.
yeah, yeah.
Time it goes
That's.
off. Yeah. Yeah. It was that bad, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why that the importance of that preseason, they like that game right there alone tells you the importance of being able to have some live reps against other competition, man. Just to be able to see, you know, just to be able to get the timing down. Like you said, just to be able to get the timing down. So, you know, I think it's a I think it's a good step in the progression of college football. We're gonna have to see college football make its progression anyway because this is not an amateur sport anymore. This is
Mm-hmm.
not an amateur sport. We got to quit operating as if this is how it was in 2005. This is how it was in 1985. Like, no, this is a different game now. We gotta and we gotta act as such. So, you know, preseason, a college football preseason will be in the works. You go ahead and guarantee within the next 5 years, this is gonna be the norm. This will be the norm of how this sport works. So we already got general managers. If we got general managers in college sports, we're gonna have a preseason.
It's
We're
slowly
gonna have a
turning it.
preseason.
That's slowly turning to the NFL just a tad bit, and that
Come on,
it
man.
crazy. And have you know that's what I coach like. Honestly, I coach like an NFL ran style. So
Makes
you
sense.
know this.
Truthfully honest.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm all for it, man. Give it a go. Give it a go for me for a preseason.
Oh man, like I said, I'm with it, man. Let's get it. Let's get it done. But with that being said, this has been Jim Dropper Sports. I'm your host, Shanti Stewart. This is my co-host, A. Smith. D, brother, we miss you, my boy. You know what I'm
We got to
saying?
hear about the coach. We got to hear about them Colts, D. We
We
got to
got
see
to.
what
We don't run.
we got to hear. AR at the
Don't.
it's the reckoning. The reckoning is the reckoning is upon us, y'all.
Hey, don't run, brother. That belt is here, big dog. But yeah, with that being said, we're Jim Dropper Sports, and we out.